Okay, it's been a while since I've made a cooking video, so I said I'd have a go at it again. I was only reading up, I'm sure most of us were, about Christmas recipes for cooking turkey, and the Beer Revolution on boards.ie put up a suggestion that I've never seen before about poaching the turkey and then finishing in the oven, or frying to finish it off. So I said I'm not going to poach a turkey. I'm still going to brine my turkey this year, because I found that worked really well last year. But it did interest me, the idea of poaching the turkey. And I said it to my brother-in-law, whose mother was a fantastic cook. She's a real Irish mammy and she's excellent at cooking. And he told me that she always poached their chickens. If they were having chicken dinner, she'd poach it and then she'd fry it off or finish it under the grill. So I have my stock pot, my ham pot, the big feed of curry pot on the go, full of fresh water. I'm going to add some salt. I'm going to add stock pot. I'm going to add some carrot. I'm going to add some peppercorns and a bay leaf. I know dried bay leaf, but sure, that's what I've got. Some onion. The potatoes I'm going to peel and boil separately. I might boil them in the water actually with the chicken, I'm not sure. Anyway, and there's our chicken. What I'm thinking of doing, I'm going to spatchcock the chicken. I'm going to take out his backbone, and I'm going to show that for anyone that isn't familiar with how to do it. I've got my big old scissors there and my chicken forks for lifting out the chicken when he's cooked. Now the recipe I looked up said for a whole chicken you need to poach for an hour and 20 minutes, and according to the Beer Revolution you knock off the time that you're going to grill or fry from the poaching time. So I'm going to poach this chicken for about an hour. I'm going to check him and see how done he is. After the hour, take him out of the water with my chicken forks. I'm going to put him in the oven and I'm going to grill him to finish him for 15 or 20 minutes on a kind of a lowish heat, kind of a medium heat. I just want to brown the skin. I don't actually want to, he should be pretty much cooked through at that stage, so I don't want to overcook him, but I do want to finish the skin so I have nice crispy skin. Right, so I'm going to get set up. I'm going to set up the camera on the tripod so I can actually record while I spatchcock the chicken, just to show anyone that hasn't done it before how easy it is. And of course the backbone is going to go into my bag in the freezer for my stock and gravy fixings that I've been saving up for quite a while, turkey necks and all sorts in there. Okay, so I'm going to get set up and we'll go ahead with that. Right, I have my chicken, as you can see, turned face down. Okay, there's our breast. Face down, person's nose is facing me, so I have the cavity to work with. I'm using a white cutting board that I only use for chicken. I had a dose of salmonella about 2 months ago. It's not funny, not from my own cooking. I got it from, I believe, from some ice cream that I bought, and it's some sickness. You don't ever want to get salmonella. So use a separate cutting board dedicated for chicken. Okay, so we're going to point the person's nose at us. Take a large kitchen shears. If you don't have a kitchen shears, either get one or go down to the hardware and get a tin snips that can be disassembled, that you can take the pin out of and open out the two halves for cleaning, and that will really cut through. Okay, so we're going to put it up. I'm going the right hand side of the what would be the backbone, and kind of snipping through the ends of the ribs all the way up to the neck and out. And the same then, I'm going to go left of the person's nose into the cavity. Okay, you can see it takes a bit of pressure, but not a great deal. I mean, I'm not all that strong. Okay, and there's the backbone taken out. That's going to go into the bag in the freezer for making stock. And the chicken, I'm going to give him a little encouragement to lay a bit flat. Okay, so there's the keel, that's the breastbone, the cartilage, and the two sides. Okay, so I'm going to get my water up to simmer, not boiling, just the water starting to move but bubbles not breaking the surface. The chicken and my aromatics are going to go in my stock pot, and I'm going to simmer that for an hour with the lid on while I get my potatoes peeled and on the boil, get them on the go. After the hour, this is going to come out. I'm going to a preheated oven, breast side up, skin side up, and hopefully I may pat it dry with a kitchen towel or whatever, and hopefully I'll get a nice crispy skin and really moist juicy meat in the chicken, because he's been poached rather than roasted. Okay, and I do like my roast chicken, I really do. So it's interesting to see how this is going to turn out, and maybe next year I might end up poaching my turkey crown. And like, I've seen the recipes on boards.ie where they get make your own turkey crown where you take off the legs, pull the sinews out the leg, bone and roll the 2 legs, and make another roast out of that. And that'd be excellent for maybe a week or 2 later. Freeze the legs, bone and roll and roast them later on, and have another roast turkey meal when the when the sickness of the turkey has gone off you, and you kind of fancy another go of it. Okay, so I'll crack on with this, and we'll rejoin it later on. Okay, I forgot to say it. I'm going to put some garlic in here, and this is elephant garlic that I got in Lidl, and this is just 1 part of a clove. The thing was like a tennis ball size, and this is 1 clove from it. So I'm going to maybe half this or quarter it and pop that into the water, and it tastes like garlic. It's grand, just a big piece. So happy days. I really like garlic, and everyone else had better too, because I'm putting it in. Okay, this is kind of my attempt at mise en place. I mean, I have my potatoes, my carrots, my onion, and you can see my cutting board here. Sorry, but see, it's an end grain cutting board, and I like to pull it out a little bit so it overhangs the counter, so I can scoop cuttings straight from where I'm working into the bin. You do end up standing kind of 1 leg forward, but I do that anyway. And sorry about the shadows now. Here's some of my herbs I bought today for my stuffing, and I do like an oxo cube rubbed into the skin of the chicken. So I said I'd try a chicken oxo and see, it's a bit milder, but I do like that kind of salty nom. Okay, I'll crack on with peeling and chopping. Okay, I don't think I showed you this since the last time I made a video. I've always wanted one of these. Like, this is over my sink, so you can see the sinky. Alright, and up over, so it's not knocking into anyone's head. It's high enough that you have to reach to get your pots and pans and your colanders and your wok and all the tools. And the frame is actually part of an old fire guard we had when the kids were really small. You get these fire guards that go all the way around to stop them kind of running into the fire like fucking headless chickens. And once that was no longer needed, we just had a spark guard in front of the fire. I took this thing apart. I found where the joists were. I went up into the attic and made some holes. So I screwed some eye bolts into the ceiling, and I got some steel S-hooks, you can see them there, inside in the local hardware. I must have bought like 5 packets, 6 packets of those. I think there were 5 2-packets of a bunch of them, and hung them out of the grid. And the steel chain came from the hardware, and I've left a lot of kind of slack on it, so if I need to raise it or lower it, or if I needed to alter the position any of it, I had enough chain to do that. And now I can hang my pots and frying pans and bits and pieces where I can actually just reach them and get them, because I'm kind of stuck for storage space in my kitchen. I don't have a whole pile of presses, especially since we fitted the dishwasher. I had to take a press out to replace it with the dishwasher, so that kind of caught me. So I'm really pleased with how that turned out, and the kind of, like when the sun's shining in the window, that's stained glass and it lights up, and it's very, yeah, it's pretty, it's grand. Okay, it's my microplane grater. I like that thing. Okay, I've reduced it from I brought it to like a rolling boil, a full boil, and reduced the heat down, peeled a few spuds, and now we have a little movement. You can see my onions are doing a little dancing, floating up and down and coming up from the centre and down at the side, so the convection currents are moving away inside in the water there. So it's time to put in our little chuk chuk. Okay, so here she goes. Just pop her in there. Alright, and now I'm going to start my kitchen timer for an hour. Well, I'll probably do it for 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and check at that point how she's looking, and alter my cooking time if I feel it needs it. But yeah, so she's in, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, it's all on the go now. The chicken is in there. I forgot to say a good tablespoon of salt into the water with the chicken and the stock and the broth. And like once the chicken is poached, I'm going to keep that broth. I'll probably make a soup with it tomorrow. The potatoes are on, they're just cut up and boiling away. And the carrots I just cut up into rings. I put in quartered clementines, satsuma, whatever you like, a chunk of the garlic, the elephant garlic, and a dollop of ground cumin, about like a teaspoonful of cumin. It's a Jamie Oliver recipe that I tried last Christmas. I was kind of iffy about it, but it really turned out well, so I'm going to do it again. And like once these are cooked and they're boiled and they're soft, I'm going to scoop out the onion, or the orange. The garlic is going to stay in. I'm going to blitz the whole lot and puree it, and then I'm going to mix it It's a thing Paul Flynn does in his cookery school. The mashed potato and the carrot puree. I'm going to get a small saucepan. I'm going to heat kind of equal parts butter and cream, or butter, milk and cream, something like that. Warm it through so it doesn't cool down the mash or the puree carrot, and then just kind of warm it through, fling it in, mash it all together, so you get really creamy potato that's really kind of dripping with butter and fats and good stuff, and the puree carrot kind of binds together. It's real nice. Oh, I'm going to turn that down a bit. This is an induction hob, and like, in fairness, when we bought the house, I was convinced as soon as the old hob, you know, those electric rings that kind of glow and they're not very good. As soon as that went, I was going to buy a proper gas hob. So like for survivalists, or you know, contingency planners, I like to call them, if you have a gas hob and an electric oven, the power goes, you could still cook a Christmas dinner like this on your gas hob, because you can poach your chicken, take it out and fry it to colour it. So once you've gas, you're okay, even if the power goes, and like our winters can be a bit dodgy, so the power can go. But this opportunity came up. A friend of my wife's was moving to Australia, and she was selling her Dietrich oven and induction hob. So I said, sure, look, you know, the price was right, cheap. So we got them, and in all honesty, if I couldn't have gas, and even now it'd be a toss-up whether I'd go for gas. The induction hobs are so quick, so responsive. You can bring a lot of water to a boil, crank them up to 9, let them at it, and they will bring a lot of water to a boil very, very quickly. And then you turn it down to 4 and they'll simmer, and really responsive. The countertop doesn't stay hot. The heat is actually in the cooking pot, so the heat that you feel on the countertop or on the induction hob is the heat from where the hot pot was sitting on the glass or the ceramic top. The ring itself doesn't get hot unless it senses something metallic, so you may have to change your cookware. But if it doesn't sense something of a decent mass and of the right type of metal, it won't come on. As soon as you take the pot off, the heat goes off. They're excellent. I really, really do like them, and that's what Paul Flynn uses now in the tannery cooking school. Is all induction hobs. And like Paul, he's great. Like, if you're doing a cooking class with Paul, there's no secrets. There's no kind of chefy mystique. If he knows it, he'll tell you. He'll show you. There's no problem at all. He'll tell you what you can do, and he'll do it for you. And there's no secrets. So really, really good. Okay, so everything's on the go here. I'm going to set my timer. Well, I have one timer set for the turkey already, or the chicken, sorry. So I'm going to set another timer for my potatoes and my carrots, and I'm going to come out and check them and do that. And like, once they're cooked, I'll strain off my potatoes into the colander. I have the colander and the double drainer sink. So potatoes straight in there, colander back on the pot and back on the heat, and leave the steam, just steam off and dry out the potatoes. So when I mash them, they're not going to be all kind of waterlogged. They'll have steamed off, so the cream and the butter and all that can mix in really nice. Same with the carrots. Then I have a big sieve, and I'll pour the carrots through the sieve, pick out my oranges, clementine, and the carrot and the cumin and the garlic is all going to be mashed together. And hopefully at that point my poached chicken will be pretty much ready to go under the grill to brown off while I finish up the other bits. And even if they're not, they're going to stay warm for quite a while, even if the chicken isn't quite done yet. You know, my timing is a bit iffy on this because it's my first time poaching a chicken, so I'm not really sure. But I'll have everything kind of done and ready, and if I need to heat it through or warm it over the hob and then plate up, that'll be grand. Okay, so the timer alarm has gone off, and I've taken my poached chicken out of the broth, and in fairness, the broth looks excellent, and the chicken is kind of pallid looking. The skin is a bit not great. It's definitely done since the leg fell off as I was taking it out of the broth. Okay, so I have my grill on, and that's heating up, and I'm going to pop this into a roasting tray under the grill, try and give it a bit of colour before we serve up. Okay, so far so good. Carrots are done, potatoes are done, just to be mashed and pureed. I need to heat up some butter and cream and milk, but yeah, it's looking okay. Okay, so this is the chicken after maybe 10 minutes under a hot grill. So I've kind of charred it and coloured it, some more than others. Since the legs were falling off anyway, I took them off and put them skin side up, so you know, I get more crispy skin. We like that. I haven't tried the meat yet, obviously, so I don't know what it's like. There's my butter, cream and milk mixture for mashing into my potatoes, and my cumin carrots. So okay, I'm going to assemble this, plate up, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so plating up the right carrot, potato, and our poached and then grilled chicken. Yeah, it looks good. So the final test now is going to be how it tastes. Right. So what do you think of the chicken?
The chicken was good, but the skin, there was bits bland, and I liked the bits caramelised on it.
Cool. And did you like the carrots?
Yeah.
Only a bit more blended.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then the dog fight over the dinner.
Shut. Yeah, I liked the chicken, and I liked the carrots.
What about the Paul Flynn spuds?
Yeah.
Do you know what I need to get is a bit of nutmeg. Grate a bit of nutmeg into the mash.
Yeah.
Cool.
The mash was actually wicked creamy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. So it's good dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure.
The carrots were a bit crunchy though.
Ah, yeah. Well, I wanted a little bit of
Crunchy.
texture to it, and you like creamy.
Yeah, I like it like
The
this.
chicken came out really nice, but I think probably a slow roast would be as good.
Yeah, or
But it is a nice way of doing it, and I do like the kind of more caramelised burnty bits on the top.
Yeah.
That really tastes good. Where my wife got some of the kind of boiled bits that were a little bit fleshy, and she wasn't so keen. So
Yeah,
overall, a good result, and we have a stock pot full of broth for soup.
For what?
So broth. We're gonna boil the chicken and the veg and the bits, and now we have it's in there. Still warm, so it's cooled down. So when it's cold, we'll skim the fat off, and we can use it as a stock for gravies or soups.
And then we can make bread.
And we'll make bread now. Okay. All right, but.